Turn it up.
Of NASA Student Launch for the 2015 edition, our 50th year anniversary. Very excited to be here in North Alabama, just outside NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. We got another great university team. This is a large team, so we're using wide-angle lenses here to get everybody involved. And I'm going to let their team spokesman introduce themselves. And so let's get your name, your team, and where you're from.
My name is Brittany Lambert. We're the 49er rocketry team, and we're from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Excellent, thanks. It's nice to have you joining us today. And so as we look at this rocket, it looks like a pretty sophisticated design. So give me a little aspect of how you guys came up with this design for the rocket.
Well, we were trying to meet the challenge a little bit, and last year we broke a fin, so we wanted to be able to replace them on the field. So we went with 3D printed fins that we could replace. For the AGSE, for the sealed sample system, we actually have a pressure vessel inside. And since Mars's environment is very ferrous, we actually are purging it with argon gas to get the ferrous materials out. So that was kind of our concept. We're trying to really meet the objective of being on Mars.
Absolutely, and some of the content she refers to goes back to the Mars Ascent Vehicle Challenge, which is sponsored by NASA's Centennial Challenges program. And so that's a different aspect for this year's Student Launch Challenge event. Students have built, as you mentioned, an autonomous ground support equipment for them to insert payloads into the rocket, as well as to actually close the payload fairing door and then lift the rocket to a launch to a launch position. And so as we move around, one thing you mentioned was 3D printing, and Marshall Center takes an agency lead when it comes to 3D printing. And so as I look at this notes card right here, I see that the entire thing looks like it's 3D printed. And so would you please tell me your name and a little bit about this 3D printed fin?
Yes, I'm Kevin Morrow, and we 3D printed the fin can out of Old Tin 9085, which is a thermoplastic that's very heat resistant. And we chose to 3D print it so that the fins are removable, so we could easily change the static stability of our launch vehicle. We also did 3D printing for our drag modulation system, as well as our sealed sample delivery system, which pressurizes our sample and safely secures it in our launch vehicle.
Excellent. And as we've seen some of the different rocket designs come through, we talk about the fins, whether it's 4 fins or 3 fins, and whether they're independent fins or together. This one looks like it's all one piece, the whole bottom part of your rocket. So I know there's a terminology for that. And you guys, does this fin screw on, glue on, bolt on? How is this happening?
It slides right into place. So you essentially just unbolt it here. The entire fin can comes out, and you can slide the fins out easily. There's no hardware required to actually secure the fins.
And do you have a backup? Is this the only one that you have?
Yeah, we have backup fins on hand.
That is great. One thing we try to make sure we remind everybody is redundancy, if not double or even triple redundancy, especially for as you move into following with NASA missions. And so let's move around here a little bit and speak to some other team members. Young lady, will you please tell us your name and where you're from?
My name is Bethany Hyde, and I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And we're always interested. This is an educational event sponsored by NASA's Office of Education, and we try to encourage everybody to be involved in science, technology, engineering, math, the STEM fields. And one thing is also trying to encourage females to be involved in that. And there's a lot of different classes. There's a lot of different programs, maybe Society of Women Engineers that would influence that. And so as you've grown up, as we look around here and see the females that are involved, what's something that influenced you to be involved in rocketry?
Both my father and brother are actually engineers, so they were a huge driving factor as to why I was interested. Just kind of growing up, having my brother really push me.
Excellent, that's great. A little fit. So it's in your blood is one thing to say here. And sir, will you tell me your name, please?
John Jasinski.
Excellent. And so if we're going to try to encourage other students to be involved, we're talking about the classes that you wish you would have taken to be a little better prepared. What's some of the classes, whether it's MATLAB or SolidWorks or engineering or welding, what's something that you would recommend?
I would recommend getting involved with CAD software early. We've ended up running into a few issues designing it, but young people getting involved in CAD early would be great.
Excellent. That's great advice. No, absolutely. Definitely different kinds of design software, especially we'll be doing 3D printing, which a lot of our teams have involved some incorporation of 3D printing. And so following with this team, we want to wrap up with our funding sponsors. So who would you like to thank for making this opportunity available for you?
I actually have a couple. NC Space Grant was a major contributor. The Lee College of Engineering at UNC Charlotte also was a major supporter. And I just also donated our lead screw, which is approximately $600. So we have a lot of sponsors.
Okay, now I think we're getting another word here. Who is this one?
I'm sorry? Carolina Composite Rocketry.
Actually, we want to give all the shout outs for everybody who's helped these students come here and participate in the student launch event. So I'll let you guys kind of walk on and take care of business if you've not done your sign-in real quick. And one thing we always like to talk about when it comes to dealing with students, and we want to promote and plug what the agency does, and those are internships. We have 3 different versions of internships that roll out for the fall semester, the spring semester, and the summer semester. And so the deadlines are coming up. If you go on to nasa.gov and then chase down intern, or go to your favorite search engine, whether it's Bing or Google or Yahoo, and type in NASA internships. It's a great opportunity for you to get involved. We love to hire directly from internships pool. And as I look at this group right here, has anybody been involved in internships, applied, or are interested? Raise your hand if you're interested and applied, or you got a couple right here. Definitely interested. All right, excellent. Something we want to make sure we encourage you guys to get involved in. And as we leave your interview, let's give a little wave and just shout out for everybody who's watching. Everybody, make sure you say hi to your mom. Hey, Alex. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. As we continue to bring you live coverage of the student launch event taking place here near NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center, we'll be back with another team and all their smiles.